since very inceptions, right, our premise was or is continues to be to provide reliable and accurate data to our customers, often working on a very tight timeline. Pressures and the expectations continue to arise as the technology evolves, right? So we stay committed to our roots, right? So it's paramount for us that our solutions are working for our customers all day, every day, and providing that reliability that they can count on.
Hello and welcome to WGIC, the World Geospatial Industry Council. Our guest today is Boris Skopljak, Vice President Trimble. Boris, thank you so much for this time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I would like to start asking you the very premise with which Trimble promised since its inception, high precision and reliable geospatial information, right? So I'd like to understand what's new from Trimble in facilitating accurate geospatial data. How are these innovations transforming the way your clients work?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Manu. Since very inceptions, right, our premise was or is continues to be to provide reliable and accurate data to our customers. We know our customers are under a lot of pressure to deliver data and highest level of fidelity of information, spatial information to their clients, often working on a very tight timeline. Pressures and the expectations continue to arise as the technology evolves, right? So we stay committed to our roots, right? So it's paramount for us that our solutions are working for our customers all day, every day, and providing that reliability that they can count on when they're performing their jobs, right? So we are very proud to recently have introduced a very refreshed GNSS portfolio line, starting with our flagship product, Trimble R980. The biggest advancements in the Trimble R980 include the communication systems update, so to make sure that our customers can work without interruptions in even more remote environments, right? So we've added the cellular connectivity with the 4G LTE modem, the dual band radio. And it also comes with our standard features of the IMU tilt-based compensation, as well as with our ProPoint engine that we are very proud of, that we consider it industry-leading solution in the market, allowing our customers to work in a very remote environments, very often under dense canopy. It comes with all the other good features, right? Like the Trimble IonoGuard, right? We know we are going through the peak of the solar cycle at the moment, and such information such engines to provide our customers to get the most reliable data are critical for their operations. It comes also with a 12-month subscription to our RTX precise positioning service. So that means our customers can receive the corrections directly from the L-band satellites if they don't have a ground-based network for receiving those corrections. So all that included, right? It unpacks more efficiency in the field, and when it paired with our flagship product in the field, which is Trimble Access field software, we really believe we have a winning combination for our customers. On top of that, we've updated our R780 receivers, which are meant for more construction-focused survey customers, as well as our SP100, our Spectra Geospatial product line, with that flagship product. Moving on from the GNSS, we have been working very hard on continuing to improve our connected solutions. So with our flagship product being Trimble Connect. So Trimble Connect is the glue in Trimble that connects all the information coming from different planning, design, maintenance, survey, construction packages, and so on. Last year, we crossed the number of 30 million customers on Trimble Connect, probably approaching about 35 million customers as we speak. The industry uses the term common data environment, right? So Connect is our common data environment, although in Trimble we prefer the term connected data environments. We strongly believe in the distributed networks of networks, if you wish, right? So it's very important for us that our customers can work with their clients who might be in a different software environments, such as Esri, Autodesk, Bentley's, or so on, right? So Connect provides a very strong APIs and ability to integrate with all these packages, right? So we have been adding more and more extensions to Trimble Connect that streamline specific workflows. So one of the recent extensions has been the field data extension that allows our customers to quickly search and tag any field data and to perform basically task management operations and streamline operations to minimize downtime as the data passes hands between different stakeholders. Very excited about this release. This quarter, we are moving into the more reality capture focus solutions on Trimble Connect. So that's something that stay tuned and something we are very excited about. And that's a good segue into reality capture. So reality capture has been another big area of innovation for us. So in the first part of this year, we added LiDAR capabilities, so laser scanning to our Sight Vision, which is our augmented reality system in the field that allows you to overlay 3D models, real world environment. So you can kind of change the transparency of that model so you can kind of walk down the road and see the buried pipes and utilities if we have those models loaded, providing our customers much better situational awareness and understanding of what's happening in the field, or helping them visualize how a new building is going to look like at the plain sight, right? So adding LiDAR capabilities to that, right, allows them now to start also compare the progress and what has been built, and also for documentation purposes allows them to have the 3D context. If the pipe has been buried with dirt, later they can actually have a context and 3D information of how that information looked like before. In the mobile mapping arena, we've refreshed our top of the line product, which is Trimble MX9. We introduced Trimble MX90 that provides additional fidelity with the high resolution imagery, with even better IMU information. Again, all packaged with our Planix IMU solutions. With Trimble Business Center provides a superior system in the field. So those are some of the highlights. I'm very proud of our continuous work that happens between our Trimble Access and Trimble Business Center software packages, as well as our Trimble FieldLink solution for our building construction professionals, right? So we have an extremely high rate of renewals on those packages, right? And the warranty sales, which means that customers are appreciating the features and benefits they continuously get behind those solutions.
Thank you so much for that answer. I'm sure these are only a few of the many innovations Trimble is bringing up at this point on time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, the next question is about how Trimble is leveraging the power of artificial intelligence in these solutions, right from data collection to changing information, analytics, and actionable insights, right? So in this entire value chain, how is Trimble leveraging the power of artificial intelligence? Can you enumerate?
The interesting thing what's happening, right, is that very often we find that we always think of a hardware, right, as something not as cool, right? But very often hardware is much ahead of the software, right? So with all the solutions like reality capture that I mentioned, with both terrestrial, mobile, laser scanning, drone data, our customers are able to collect more data faster than ever, right? So the field data collection has shrunk dramatically, and you can now perform tasks that took weeks in the matter of days. But then you have that build up time back in the office, right? So we in this stage, I see significant progression and opportunity to reduce the creation of those office deliverables, right? Whether that's a topographic map, whether that's a 3D terrain model, whether that's actually an as-built model of the 3D pipe plant or something like that. There's a significant opportunity to leverage AI to reduce a creation of those deliverables, right? So for us, starting point was 5-6 years ago when we started with just automating or classifying ground from anything else, right? Because when people fly a drone or scan an environment, right, the first thing they want to just create a terrain model of the bare ground. So we started with just kind of automating that classification where we just keep the bare ground, but then we continue to evolve the level of sophistication we were adding to our AI engines and capabilities, right? So we have a solution called Trimble eCognition, and now which is objects-based learning environment where customers were able to program their queries and automate some of those feature extraction and classification tasks. We brought that solution behind Trimble Business Center, and a lot of our feature extraction and automation is happening now in that environment. So in Trimble Business Center now, you have so many things you can classify at speed, right? So I mentioned ground versus non-ground objects, but now you have vegetations, light pulses, power lines, rail information, all of that you can classify with single click of the button, right? Our goal is to make that as simple and as easy as we can for our customers. Then you move into the feature extraction. Now I've segmented or I classified a piece of the reality or reality capture point cloud. Now I want to create geometry out of it, right? So this is where we have been hard at work, right, to automate some of that curb and gutter extraction, road line markings, right? Extract catenary lines from the power lines, classified point clouds for power lines, right? So that's where we see a big opportunity going forward. The feature I'm most excited about also is adding back that capability for our customers to program their own queries or program their own extraction algorithms inside TBC and train using their localized data. Because a fire hydrant doesn't look the same in South Africa the way it looks like in Vietnam versus in the United States. So it's always hard to have a bulletproof solution that just works for everybody in every situation, but we put also some of that power, in addition to automating it fully, we put that some of that power back in the hands of our customers. So I would say that's where the current status of the industry is, right? Is adding a lot of that to capability to the post processing into the desktop solutions. I see a big opportunity for the cloud to play a role here, right? As you can unleash or unlock much more data sets inside a cloud environment where you can train your models to be better, more robust. But there's also an element of AI to play in the field, right? So there's a lot of intelligence we can introduce on the firmware layer of our hardware solutions, where we can be much more intelligent about what data to collect, what data to ignore, right? So right off the start, so our sensors or our customers can save additional time in the field to be collecting the right data for later purposes. So I would say that we are just at the beginning or tapping on the opportunities, but there's a lot more that can be done with the AI going forward. So very excited about this part.
Thank you, Boris. I also understand that Trimble has a very keen eye on the entire workflows in various industries. Can you help our viewers understand the comprehensive solutions in the construction lifecycle?
Generally, when we think about industries, right, we think about what is the value chain, what the customers do from the beginning to the very end of the project. As surveyors, we are always proud to say, like, we are the first ones to arrive at the site, or surveyors or geospatial professionals, we are first to arrive at the site and we are last ones to leave. And there's a whole lot that happens in between, right? So the Trimble ecosystem starts with the planning and design solutions. This is where we have some very strong solutions in place, like the Trimble SketchUp, right? So that is used for the conceptual design and planning. So very popular 3D modeling software. I think we have something on the level of 30+ million customers annually on Trimble SketchUp. Then we go after that initial topographic assessment from servers, going into the planning and design with solutions like SketchUp, with Tekla, with some of our MEP solutions where our customers detail that design. and it goes into the preparation stage, right, where we kind of create a digital environment where then we prepare that same information for putting it back into the field, right? So that's what we call the physical to digital to physical, right? Where Trimble Connect plays that binding role and plays the role of connecting that physical and digital solutions for us, right? So in that pre-construction phase, right, we are preparing those models to be constructible, right? We are using also solutions like Trimble Business Center to if you're talking about moving dirt, for example, as a first stage of clearing the site, we prepare a full digital terrain model inside Trimble Business Center, and it's important, right, to pay attention to details like when you're preparing a 3D model in real world, right, that it's properly positioned on its right coordinate systems. You don't have any lines that are at the zero elevation, that all the lines are crossing, because all of those informations can confuse the machine, right, and wouldn't know what to do. Then we have the way to transfer that information seamlessly, right, through Connect, where the operator in the cabin can simply receive that design model. It doesn't have to be a machine. It can be a field surveyor. It can be a construction surveyor, mine surveyor that's receiving that digital terrain model, and it's placing that information in the field. As the progress is happening in the field, as the dirt being moved, or as the information is being staked, the office personnel is getting all of that information, and can understand what's happening on the construction site, right? So that's where we are creating that real-time link between the physical and the digital world. In the office, then we have a whole suite of the construction management solutions and technologies, right? So we are very strongly positioned with our solutions like Viewpoint and e-builder that are meant for the project management, as well as the e-builder for the payment and processing of the work, right? So the e-builder then will take information of, okay, that inspection has been performed, that part of the site has been performed, process, complete that work order, and send it for payment, because very often you work in a construction environment through a lot of subcontractors, a lot of people that need to interact with the system. So this is where Viewpoint and eBuilder play a vital role for us. Once the construction or building process has been completed, you're moving to the operate and maintain stage, right? And this is where we provide both office solutions like CityWorks, that is very popular with the local city governments for managing their assets. The solutions like Unity in the utilities industries, right, for the gas, water, electric, as well as the agile assets for managing maintenance for infrastructure, so roads, bridges, tunnels, and so on, right? So the role is trying to move to the predictive versus the scheduled maintenance, right? That pairs again with our field solutions that we have on the mapping and GIS portfolio, where the maintenance information can be passed to solutions like Trimble Catalyst, Trimble TerraFlex, or any of our system integrator solutions based on the Esri platforms in the field, right, for regularly maintaining and operating the assets, right? So, yeah, we are very present on all of the stages, right? And in any stage, right, we understand our customers might have to use a complementary solutions from other vendors. So it's very important for us that we provide those integration hooks and APIs from our solutions to predominantly from Trimble Connect, but also from the various point solutions.
Thank you, Boris. I would also like to understand what's new in Trimble's transportation infrastructure solutions, especially in reducing the operational costs and increasing the productivity and safety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you mention safety, the first solution in my mind that comes is our monitoring solutions, is really our Trimble 4D Control, which is our flagship monitoring platform, right? The newest thing there has been the release of the Trimble 4D rail module, where we are integrating the we are bringing the geodetic as well as the geotechnical sensors together. And integrating a whole lot of auxiliary sensors that happen that help the manage the track information, right? So the twist and cant and gauge of the rail track, and both during the construction process, but after the construction process has been completed, right? So the T4D plays a vital role in slope stability, right? During the construction, right? You want to make sure you're not having any settlement on the road, or the worst case scenario, right? You have a piece of land kind of sliding into the construction site and potentially endangering people and infrastructure, right? So very proud of the work and the solutions and the stories, especially when we hear of helping keep people safe first and foremost. Makes us very proud and fulfilled about the work we do. Furthermore, in the transportation infrastructure, right, I mentioned the agile assets, so that ties back to the topic of the AI. We have been combining the mobile mapping data sets inside Trimble Business Center, where we have been able to understand the potholes, rut holes, settlements on the roads, drainage situation, where we have been able to integrate directly Trimble Business Center with our agile asset solution. So for pavement condition and inspection, so that allows us to drive massive amounts of road at the time and put that information into agile assets that then can say, okay, this area of the road is deteriorating faster than the others, so hence spend your maintenance dollars here and not there where we were originally meant to spend our dollars. So those are a couple of recent examples of evolution in the transportation infrastructure space.
So is this something, an example of reality capture as well as to how the road infrastructure is, where the potholes and all that? Sorry, pardon my ignorance if I'm wrong, but would you want to enumerate the reality capture and laser scanning applications through an example?
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, the mobile mapping is a prime example, right, of reality capture paired, of course, through a sensor fusion with a high accuracy positioning system, right? So driving the down the road 80 to 120 kilometers an hour, you're collecting 2 million points per second, plus all the high fidelity imagery information, right? So that's phenomenal amount of information that goes into them. So reality capture that goes into processing and analysis, where AI plays a role. The exciting part here is that we are not just running AI on top of the point clouds, but we actually are using imagery as well, because images are critical for understanding the context of the type of the crack you're seeing on the road, right? Because not all cracks are the same. So the richness of both point cloud and imagery allows you a much deeper and better insights and analysis.
All right. So, Boris, the entire industry and the world is going big on sustainability thanks to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And I'd like to understand, with a large footprint and a large a kind of varied solutions, how is Trimble building sustainability or including sustainability practices into the solutions?
Yeah, for us, the sustainability comes naturally through the productivity first and foremost that we provide solutions, right, to the operational efficiency. I mean, the example of connecting physical and digital, right, so people in the field with people in the office, eliminate unnecessary trips, right, with your vehicles back and forth to the construction site, just so you can plug in a USB stick in a machine or into a back-end office. So that's an example, right? So by just better connecting, not just sometimes site and the office, but also site to site or office to office. I would say connecting multiple stakeholders across the life cycle definitely is first and foremost example of how we are reducing unnecessary trips, saving on the CO2 emissions, and so on. I would say the example of the moving to predictive maintenance versus scheduled maintenance through our Unity Agile Asset, CityWorks, and our MGIS portfolio is an example of again, focusing on the problem areas or areas that need immediate attention, right, versus just blasting and going everywhere just for the sake because the calendar schedule told you so. Allows us to be, or allows our customers to be more precise in how and where they are deploying their efforts. I would say that we have a number of examples, right, where our GNSS, our remote sensing solution like Info and eCognition are helping in monitoring coastal areas, right? We have customers using our solution, understanding like the water masses and the glaciers, also the several examples of tracking the deforestation and urbanization progression in certain areas like Brazil. That's usually a hot topic, right? And tying that to the CO2 emissions. So I would say that those are some of the examples, right, where Trimble is extremely present. Inherently, a lot of us, by growing up in the geospatial or surveying industry, we just have that affinity and love for the nature and the environment around us, right? It's a profession because of that combination of the outdoor, indoor, and so I would say protecting the nature just comes naturally to us, and something we are very passionate about in Trimble.
That's true. It comes very naturally. In fact, I often say the very premise of geospatial technology is sustainability and conservation of the Earth, planet.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you so much. This brings me to the next part of the conversation, Boris, and that is your association, or Trimble's association with WGIC. Trimble has been one of the founding members of WGIC and continues to be a patron member, right? So what got Trimble to commit to this mission of WGIC 6 years, probably exactly 6 years ago?
Yeah. The beauty of geospatial, right, is that we have both a horizontal and the vertical, right? So we have a customers survey geospatial customers, but there's so many different industries that touch our solutions in some ways or forms, right? So I think that the opportunities for geospatial will just continue to grow, and it's really important that we have a body or agency that helps ensure that the collaboration is happening there, that we are tackling some of the challenging topics, like the inclusion of the lesser represented groups in our industry, like the environmental topics, like you mentioned, to the standard topics of just how better we integrate information across different systems, right? Those are some of the critical topics to us. That those are not just going to resolve themselves, right? It requires for us to have a cross-industry collaboration, and we are very excited. We are extremely supportive. As you know, Bryn Fosberg is on the board of the WGIC, and we want to continue to see that the organization grow and benefiting all of us in the industry.
Right. So you talked about collaboration being the core objective and goal for formation of WGIC. And there are so many companies within the WGIC membership that bring very complementary strengths and solutions, right? So how does Trimble leverage members? You already have partnerships with many WGIC members, I guess. But I would just like to understand, how do you perceive the value of being associated with WGIC and be able to collaborate with members?
The collaboration very often happens when we are in the round table environment, right? So it's not just getting the two partners to talk. I mean, a best example of collaboration, or where we're talking on on a partnership one-to-one level is typically through our customer engagement, right? So customer X reaches out to us. Recently, we had an example of Caltrans, right? So they wanted to manage some of their assets and required Trimble and Esri to come together on a project to solve some of the solutions for a customer, right? I think that the beauty of the WGIC, right, is it does we can benefit, or we leverage from somebody that can pull the broader industry together, right? So sometimes as Trimble, right, so we don't know, oh, that company X is interested. Actually, it's important for them that that problem is solved. And I think that's where the reach and the influence and the proactiveness of WGIC comes to play, right? Because very often we might be kind of getting stuck into solving the immediate problem of our customer today, right? That having an agency that says, hey, we are anticipating all of you might have this problem down the road. So I would say that's a beauty and important role WGIC can play for us, right? So looking after us and our customers and the industry for next, not just a year, but for the next 15 to 20 years ahead.
Fantastic. So Boris, on that count, my last question. Moving forward 10 years, 20 years, 15 years down the line, how do you see the relevance of WGIC evolving in a more tangible way in the landscape, I mean, in the backdrop of accelerated technology and industry transformation, which is happening very fast these days, right?
Yeah, I would say that some of these topics, right, that we touched on the AI, some of the topics of diversity are not a topic of that are ended, right? So they're not closed loop topics. I think these topics are going to continue to evolve, right? So the topics of sustainability, I strongly believe that these are just going to continue to grow in their importance. Topics of the IoT, connected environments, right? Smart cities, digital twins, however you want to call them, right? Are just going to attract and get more people engaged and more companies and industries engaged and falling in love with what geospatial can offer to them. So I don't see the role of WGIC diminishing. If anything, I see it evolving, right, and maybe expanding some of the parameters of operating, right, to not just the traditional companies, right, like Trimble that are home names in the industry, right, but we will probably see many more companies, right? In addition to Google's, Amazon's, Facebook's, and others, right? We will see more companies either in the utility space, companies like Siemens, Schneider, or some of the construction industry players, or some of the rail industry players like Deutsche Bahn, SNCF, and others, right? So if anything, right, I would say that the WGIC needs to be positioned, right, to take that broader scope of geospatial into account and help understand where all the touch points geospatial has today, but where all the touch points geospatial will have in the next 15, 20 years from now, which are just going to grow, in my opinion.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for enumerating, Boris.
Thank you so much, Banu, for the opportunity to speak to you, and it's been a pleasure.
My pleasure too. Thank you so much.